All right, folks, welcome back to Street City Studio. If you're new here, I'm John. Today I was kicking around a couple different ideas for today's photo shoot, and I was struggling with it a little bit, I think, at first. I was watching that Falcon and Winter Soldier for the second time. I'm giving it a rewatch over the weekend, and I was really thinking about doing either a Bucky Cap shot or a U.S. agent shot, or maybe put them both in a shot, right? Have them fighting somebody, teaming up, or fighting each other. But ultimately, I think I'm kind of getting bored with these Marvel figures and their lack of articulation. And I really don't like to bash on these figures, but they do look good for the most part. But these guys specifically, they don't have any wrists. They're real limited. They do have ankles, so their legs are well enough, but they tend to look all the same with their stoic hero jaws and, little wings on their heads. And I think I'm just getting kind of burnt out on Marvel figures for the moment. I've been doing a lot of Marvel lately, and so I was kind of looking at my Star Wars again, and obviously these guys aren't great examples of articulation. These two are probably the least, but I really do like these figures. But maybe a better example of what I'm talking about, right? I really like the high detail and photorealism, and that's why I always tended to lean towards, even when it comes to Marvel, I tend to lean towards the movie figures, the live-action movie figures. And unfortunately, we don't really have some good options. And there hasn't been a Bucky Cap yet. Anyways, right? I do have a Winter Soldier figure, but he's got that mask on, and his articulation's probably worse than this figure, actually. Just as bad, right? And this figure, worse or just as bad. But like I said, so I was leaning towards Star Wars today. And I was trying to decide too, right? I've been kicking around this bunker for almost a week now, I think, right? And I've been getting a lot of use out of it. I like that. And I want to get use out of it. But also, I don't want to just do the bunker forever. But I did think, at least for one last hurrah before I pull it out of here. Hopefully move on to something else for the next week or so, But I did want to stick with it for a minute here and get at least one last video / photo shoot out of it, right? And I was kicking around some ideas, right? We're looking at an indoor bunker, and what does that give us the opportunity for? And I'm going to get out of here, I think, too. I was kind of enjoying taking my little bicycle for a ride, but this most recent vintage collection Han Solo figure, I do have my criticisms, right? This holster really does lock his leg in to not being fully functional. But it's still half functional, right? You can still get some use out of it. The articulation's there, and you could probably play with it, but that holster always will pull it back. I was thinking about pulling up at least a couple of these other figures, and I was looking at my Lukes, right? Trying to decide which Luke would be good for this. Because that's all, ultimately, I think I decided it's going to be Han and Luke, right? At another bunker or different bunker, whatever. And I think, just for the sake of my own satisfaction, I want to go with the award ceremony Luke. I really like this jacket. This whole outfit works for me. I like it. And I always wished we had gotten some more action from it. Let me get his arms out here. I'm probably going to take this metal off of him, right? Because he want to just be roaming around with that on. So we'll take that off there and pop his head back on. But I really do like this figure so much. This is my top 5 Lukes, I think. I don't want to say it's my favorite, but it's in my top 5. He has a lot of costumes, a lot of outfits. But so that leaves us with, building a scene around that. And I only had a couple ideas, really, so far. So, first thing I probably should do is pull out some troopers. And I have limited options, right? I have my stormtroopers. I've got 2 here. I've got Han and Luke in disguise. But they double real well for some stormtroopers over here, right? So I'm just going to stick them by the door there for a moment. Maybe pull these guys over here so we're not completely blocking them at the moment. I've got to get their blasters back in their holsters here. I got some of these scout troopers. Right. And now technically I have 2 standard scout troopers, or Endor scout troopers. I also have 2 of the Tatooine scout troopers from the Mandalorian. Let me sort his feet out. His feet don't want to stand because he's been sitting on that bike. Let's see. It's still off, kind of funny. Alright, and I've got 1, 2. Should have made sure they were both standing first. There we go. Now I also have my rebel commander there that came with the bunker. And he can either be with Han and Luke, or I can stick that helmet on him. Let's see, there we go. And I've got a 3rd scout trooper there. Oh, his gun's falling out. There goes his gun. Get that thing back in there. Them guns fall out so easy. There we go. Okay. But like I said, I've got 2 more of them others. These dirtied up ones from Endor, or from Tatooine, from that Mandalorian show. But I think I'm gonna not use them. And I do have some Ewoks, and I thought about using them, but I don't think I'm gonna today. Right. I could use them here. But like I said, I think I decided kind of early on that it was gonna be Luke and Han today. Right. So now I've got Luke and Han and some troopers, but I gotta decide what they're doing, right? And I'm kind of being facetious here. I already know what I'm doing. I had an idea that I had saw this goofy dinosaur. I love this guy. I'm gonna murder the name Mamenchiasaurus or whatever, but I really like how goofy this guy looks. And on that note, he looks like a Star Wars kind of creature, and I think I've even touched on that in a video or two previously, or at least photography. I can't remember. That's okay. But I thought it'd be kind of interesting, maybe have these troopers bringing him through, like they rounded him up out of this cage, right? But I'm going to rearrange some stuff here to try and get this more in line with what I'm thinking. Let's see how this looks. Let's bring this cage over here. Push it back a little. And have this guy coming out. Kind of against his will. Let me see here. Hold on 1 second. Alright, so move this cage over here so that we got kind of a better look at him coming out. And I have these stun baton things from Jurassic Park figures, right? And I figure I'll give these to these scout troopers here. Like they're kind of torturing this thing to guide it, right? Make sure it goes where they want. Get this thing in his hands, right? So I'm gonna leave the stormtroopers at the door, and have these scout troopers like they're animal wrangling. How many times I gotta mess with this guy's legs? There we go. Something like that. Let me pull down a little bit. Let's spread these guys out a little better. Oh, don't do that. That might be enough of them. I don't know that I need a third scout trooper here. He can just get set aside for now. But now the thought I was having was to kind of have them over here like they're sneaking up, right? But I kind of want to analyze what's going on, right? This guy's not in a great position, right? I'm going to move him and him before I work on them. Right? I want to get this guy more visible. So I'm going to bring him almost out to where the other guy was. And that's why I moved the other guy. Right? And so now the other guy I'm going to move his hand up on this stick because I want him closer. I don't want him so far from the beast. These guns, every time I even brush it slightly, it just jumps right out of there. It is what it is. And so here we go, have him. That's not as good as I want. I don't want him to look like he should see these guys standing here. I want his back to him. Maybe, something like that. That's a little better. Yeah. Maybe pull them back just a little bit. Oh, you don't want to stand again. Come on. This is what I get for wanting better articulation. Okay, that might work. Now this guy, I'm noticing he got lost behind this guy. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Now I can move on to these guys. And I'm probably going to pull their blasters out. We'll give them their blasters. I thought about giving Luke his lightsaber. But that was one of the things that made Luke different from some of these more modern and prequel and trequels and right. And the Jedi didn't use a lot of lightsabers or blasters with their lightsabers, but Luke did, at least early on. Right. feel like can't see his gun and stuff. There we go. That didn't take much adjustment, did it? I do think I'm gonna play with some other poses though, Luke. Yeah, that works better. I feel like I could probably maybe even stick one of these scout bikes over here. Oh, knocked him right over, huh? Maybe turn it around. Move it around a bit and see what looks best. That works. I feel like maybe I could get the other one in there too. Let's see. I'm going to change the stand so that this one sits lower. Let's see. See how that looks. Yeah, it fills up that corner pretty well, I think. Trying to give everything a little once over and look at it. Now, I was thinking I could open this thing again, but then I gotta worry about relighting it. I don't think I want to do that right now. I think I do want to play with the scene though, right? I think this is, this might be wrapped up. That's about as good as I'm going to get right now. And I like it. So now I'm going to change direction and try and go in a different direction. Let me see here. Get rid of these stun batons for now, or for good even. Get rid of this guy for, he can go right back here. Alright. And what I was thinking is maybe like an aftermath. And we'll have Luke and Han coming through the aftermath. Let's pull this back a little bit because I was thinking about pulling this in. Let's see how that works in here. Alright. And I'll probably go over here. Like that. Right. And now I kind of just want all these troopers down and out, right? Like they've been lost the battle here. Oh, these little blasters. I'm just going to set them aside for now. I don't think they need them. Something like that. I can even bring in this third one I had. He can go over here maybe. These guys get the same treatment, right? Strewn about here like they lost the battle. And now what I was thinking is just kind of have Han and Luke like they're walking through the aftermath. Maybe just picking up some loose ends or whatever. Final inspections or right, whatever. Just make sure the guns is put away. Get them in a kind of casual position, like they're having a stroll and a talk. And there, we'll get them refocused on them. And that's pretty much what I had in mind. That's nice. I like that. Alright though, I think that's probably gonna wrap it up for today's video. I'm gonna get to work on seeing what kind of photos I can pull out of this little scuffle with Imperial forces we had here. see if we didn't save our lizard friend here. Alright. I think we did. What do you think? He'll be alright. Yeah. Alright, but I'll probably call it a day and wrap it up. Like I said, start working on the photos themselves. As always, you know, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It's Tuesday today. You have a great Tuesday. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week. If you want to check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and all that, I'll leave the links in the descriptions. Otherwise, keep playing with them toys. I'll talk to you again real soon.